is my LEGO DC wall, where I am attempting to collect every LEGO DC minifigure ever made. Goes side and side with my other series where I'm trying to collect every LEGO Star Wars minifigure ever made. So if you're interested in that one, I'll put a card up in the top. But today we're focusing on the DC wall. And as you can tell, I'm pretty new at this. Don't have a whole lot of DC minifigures, but I'm a huge fan of DC Comics, so I really wanted to get all the guys for it. So a couple rules, since it's such a new series. I am collecting every DC guy, so it includes from the DC line, the Dimensions line, the minifigure line, and even the Lego movie. But it is not including the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures, because those guys just are so rare and so hard to get. I'm not that much of a completionist. So anyone that was just released directly in a set. So without further ado, let's get into the guys that will be added to the wall today. So first up, we have a couple of pretty cool minifigures in my opinion. On the left here, we have Commissioner Gordon. He came out in 2013 in the Batman vs. Bane Tumbler Chase set. And he goes for about $7 to $8 now. And this is a great looking minifigure. This is his depiction in the Dark Knight trilogy, and he just looks really good. So if we turn his torso around, you can see he's got this really sweet SWAT vest print. And that can just be used in tons of different mocks, tons of different creations for city or police or tactical sets. It's a very cool print there. And not a piece that we'd probably get a whole lot anymore because of the military implications and whatnot, since LEGO doesn't like to do that. But this is a really cool minifigure. I'm surprised that he's not more expensive simply because of this torso piece. If we lift up his head, he's got that really nice Commissioner Gordon face. They capture the actor's likeness really well, I think. He's got the glasses and the mustache. On the back, he's got a much more scared look as well. On the right, we have Trickster. And man, this is what I miss about the old DC, just the obscure characters that we would get. So of course, this is Trickster. He is one of the Flash's rogues. He's a pretty interesting character. I think I really like him. I don't know if anyone has read the Injustice comics, but he has a really great part in there. Other than that, he's got fantastic printing up and down. He came out in 2015 and actually a DVD set. I think it was like the Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom. I just had to read off the slide for that one. But very cool minifigure. He's got the nice plaid shorts, and then the torso, he's got the T outline for Trickster and his, badges and pockets. He's got the really cool hair, molded in that, I don't know exactly what that color is, but darker yellow. On the back there, he's got simple printing for the back, and then, if we can get that off, there is no alternate head for Trickster. So he came out in 2015. He retails for about $6, so not very hard to get, but a very cool minifigure to add to the wall. But without further ado, let's get on to the next ones. Next up, we have a couple of interesting minifigures. On the left here, we just have Batman. So this specific Batman, according to Bricklink, is dark bluish gray suit, gold belt, black hands, and a spongy cape. So that is the combination of parts that makes this specific Batman exclusive. So as many of you know, the LEGO DC line is very heavily Batman. There is Batman in almost every set, especially nowadays, it is purely Batman. So this specific Batman, he came out between 2015 and 2016. He came out in 4 different sets as well as 4 different books. So a very common minifigure, and its price reflects that. You can get him for about $1 on Bricklink. He's not a very hard minifigure to get, but he looks really good actually, especially for 2015, 2016 line. So he's got the Batman printing. Like I said, one of the exclusive parts is this gold printed belt. He doesn't have any leg printing, which a different version of this kind of combination of parts does. So that one is a little bit cooler, I think. If we flip up the back, we have actually pretty detailed printing for his back, all the musculature and the belt back there. And then this is one of the various different cowls that Batman has that doesn't have the the part at the bottom to connect it. So the mouth is open and he's got one face there and then an additional angrier face on the back. So that's Batman. On the right here, we have Captain Cold Short Legs. So that's what Bricklink calls him, but this is the Mighty Micros Captain Cold. He came out in 2016 as well, in the Mighty Micros Flash vs. Captain Cold set. And this line wasn't very popular when it was going. It wasn't, everyone's cup of tea, and it's not really everyone's cup of tea nowadays. He is also about $1 to get, so not very expensive at all. A lot of these Mighty Micro figures, in fact, none of them are very expensive or hard to get for the DC line. Nonetheless, the Mighty Micros was definitely pandered towards kids, and you can see that in the reflection of the facial expression there and just the simplicity of the torso print. Not a lot of detail, very, very minimal, but for a very kid-designed line, it does the job, right? Like, you can't complain when it's pandered to kids, because that's exactly what Lego is. He's got that very animated face there. No alternate head on Captain Cold. But that does it for these two minifigures. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, next up we have a few very, very cool minifigures. These guys all came out in a single set, the Scarecrow Harvest of Fear, back in 2016. So let's start off with the weakest of the three. We have on the left here just Farmer. This guy was just a random civilian minifigure included in the set for the superheroes to save. And I think I really like him a lot. He's got just kind of the dirty, tank top there. He's got the scared face and just a standard red hat. It's like he's wearing sweatpants, very disheveled. He's just a farmer, he's chilling. On the back there, his print continues on the back side of the torso. And he has no alternative head, of course, because of just the standard ball cap. This is not a very hard minifigure to get. He's about $2 on Bricklink, very easy to find. On the middle here, we have Blue Beetle. So this minifigure specifically is probably what got me to do the DC wall in the first place. This is a great minifigure. Blue Beetle is probably my favorite DC superhero. I just really, really enjoy him. So this guy is very, very cool in my opinion. He's got the dual molded legs there in the black and blue. He's got the really nice scarab printing all around the torso. He's actually, if we take off his head, we see the print there a little bit better. Very nice printing. He's got an exclusive scarab piece here for the neck attachment. It's got small printing. Let me get that to focus a little better. Small printing on the front there with the black dot, but then the scarab horns or spikes, whatever, coming off the back. He's also just got the standard Beetle wings. I think this came out with a Marvel set. And then a very nice print on the back for the actual scarab piece. So this guy is very cool, and his price reflects that. This is one of the more pricier DC minifigures. If you want to get him in good condition, he's about $30 new. So one of my favorite minifigures from the entire line, and I had to get him right off the bat. This is just my favorite guy. On the right here, we have Scarecrow. So this specific Scarecrow is what Bricklink refers to as Scarecrow Dark Orange Floppy Hat. And this is a pretty good version of Scarecrow. I really like the dark orange mold for the torso, the legs, and even the hat. He is about $7 or $8 in good condition on Bricklink. And it's probably not the best Scarecrow they made, but a very unique looking one, and one that I like quite a bit. He's got really good printing all around the torso and the leg area. You can see he's got all the Scarecrow-esque ropes and patches and whatnot. He's got a really good face print there. If I take off his hat, you can see that, all the stitches and whatnot. Very cool looking head. On the back, he doesn't have an alternate head, surprisingly, and just very simple printing for the backside of his torso. And then of course his hat hair mold is from the Witch collectible minifigure series, just this time molded in the dark orange and then the nougat for the hair. So a few very, very cool minifigures that I'm glad to have in my collection. But that does it for these three. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, on to the next three minifigures. On the left here, we have Mr. Freeze with shoulder ice armor. This guy came out in 2017 alongside the Lego Batman movie, and that movie did a really good job of making all these specific stylized designs with various Lego parts I really enjoy. So this guy came out in the Mr. Freeze Ice Attack set, and to get him new in good condition, he's about $3. It's not very hard to get. But this guy looks pretty dang fantastic. I really like this helmet piece here. It looks really good, I think. It's not, like, it's goofy good, you know? It's probably not the best Mr. Freeze piece, but it looks good and goofy. If we take that off, you can see his face a little bit better. He's got the big old googly red eye goggles there. No alternative head because, of course, the helmet piece is clear. And then he's got this huge armor set. It's pretty big and bulky, just like Mr. Freeze should have. It's got a nice little print there on the front. If I take this off, we can see underneath for the torso print a little bit better. Oop, there goes his whole torso. And he's actually got really good torso printing there. Excuse me. If we can get the thing to focus a little better, you can see the ice kind of seeping through his armor bits, his suit. It just looks really good, all the little different tubes and patches and designs. This is a really great print. We flip that, we can see the armor bits continue. It's got that reflective silver piece. Very cool minifigure. Honestly, I'm surprised he is such a low price point because he is so good. But then again, the Lego Batman movie sets didn't sell super well, and you know, it's just Mr. Freeze. But this is a great version of Mr. Freeze. In the middle here, we have a GCPD officer, and this specific one, Bricklink refers to as having SWAT gear, male. So this is a pretty cool minifigure. He came out in 2017 as well, and he retails for about $10. There is one for a little bit cheaper on Bricklink, but on average, he's about $10. And he came out in the Two-Face Double Demolition set. And it makes sense that this specific minifigure is a little bit more expensive than other DC minifigures because it's GCPD for starters. So anyone who's wanting to make like Gotham City mocks, you want to get these pieces because it'll set the mock apart from the other ones. And of course, he's just a police officer in tactical gear. And anytime you get tactical gear in Lego fans are going to really want that. But this is a really good minifigure. He's got that really standard, stereotypical police cap there. He's got a really nice print for the head. He's got the sideburns going down, kind of the scared face. No alternative head because there is no back to the hat. If we take his head off, we can take off this really sweet GCPD SWAT vest. It's also got that print on the back. A very cool piece. And underneath, he's got just the stereotypical police uniform. He's got the Gotham City emblems that they used in the movie on the arm there, and then GCPD printed on the back with a cool little walkie-talkie wire going along the backside there. So for a police minifigure, this guy is really dang cool, and it kind of makes sense why he's a little more expensive than, say, a Mr. Freeze. On the right here, we just have Robin, and this one's kind of a mouthful. Bricklink refers to him as Robin with green mask and hands, black short legs, and a yellow scalloped cape. So there is another Robin that is very similar to this one, except he has the medium-sized legs, whereas this one has the short ones. The medium-sized legs, of course, can bend, whereas the short ones cannot. And this is a pretty good Robin. I'm pretty sure this is Damian Wayne version. Very good printing along the front of his torso. He came out in a lot of sets, 2 different sets and 4 books, so a very common minifigure to get, and he's about $2 in good condition. But the torso prints, you can see very nice. You got the Robin emblem there and all the different strappings from like the DC animated movies, I'm pretty sure. If we take off his hair there, he does actually have an alternate face where he's much angrier, as Damian Wayne usually is, of course. He's got this nice, cloth cape that's spiky. If we flip that up, you can see the printing continues on the back. But very good Robin minifigure. I think they did this one really well. But that does it for these 3 minifigures. Let's get on to the next ones. All right, next up we have some awesome minifigures. On the left here, we have Stargirl. So pretty obscure, well, not a super obscure character, but definitely not one that you would think Lego would make. But this is a great minifigure. She's got the Stargirl uniform with the big old star in the center. She's got dual molded legs with printing along the side. And she's also got arm printing. So she came out in the DC collectible minifigure series in 2020, and they just went all out on these minifigures. You can see that reflected in the dual molded legs, the arm printing, the leg printing. Like, it's such a good one. You don't see that super common, especially just the side leg printing. It's not a very common thing to see nowadays. If we take off her head, she's got the big old toothy grin on one side, and then on the other side, just a standard smiley face, and her printing continues on the back there. It looks very, very good. So this minifigure is only $2 to get. She's not very sought after at all, very easy to acquire, which is very interesting because she is a really good minifigure, and it's an obscure DC superhero, so I'm surprised that there's not a higher demand for her. But regardless, I'm glad that she's super cheap because I could pick her up very easily. In the middle here, we have Huntress, and she also came out in the DC collectible minifigure series alongside Stargirl. And again, you can see that the high quality of this set reflected in her printing. Whereas Stargirl's is a little simplified, I believe. Huntress is just all out, different striping and the bends of her suit. You can see the wrinkles. She's got the Huntress, standard white lines, very cool looking. She's got the purple molded belt piece there. I like that piece a lot when they finally came out with this in the Lego Batman series, or Lego Batman movie series. So it's a very cool piece that I think should be used a lot more often. It's got the printing along the front there. It's dual molded in black and purple. No leg side printing on her, but printing on the arms, which looks very good. If we take off her hair here, you can see her head a little bit better. She's got that very cool looking Huntress mask, the high points there on the side. And then if we flip her around, she has a more angry face. And she's got this really cool cape as well. It's not a standard looking cape because it just kind of droops flat. It doesn't curl around like a lot of other capes we see. And it's also triangular, right? So it's a different cut than a lot of the other capes. It's spongy, so very, very high quality. We flip that up, we can see that her printing continues along the back side. Pretty good, shadowing done well. Like, this is just another one of those cool minifigures. The DC collectible minifigures series just went all out. They made great minifigures. It's kind of a shame that they're not, worth as much anymore because she is also not very expensive. She's about $4 or $5 new. But again, I'll reiterate, I'm not super upset with that myself because it makes them much easier for me to get. On the right here, we have the newest minifigure to be added to the wall. This is just Selina Kyle from the Batman movie. And she's not very hard to get or sought after at all. She's about $1. And again, she's not a very exciting looking minifigure. They capture the actress's likeness pretty well. And the print along her torso is actually really good with all the reflective printing there and the stripes and whatnot. The suit texture looks very good. See that reflected on the back as well. If we take this head off, she's got an alternate face, much more serious looking. And she came out in two separate sets, the Batman, the Riddler face-off, and Batman and Selina Kyle motorcycle pursuit. It's not a super interesting minifigure, but definitely one I'm glad to be adding to the wall. But that does it for everyone added to the wall today. Now let's get them on the wall. So I'll see you in a sec. All right, now here's everyone added to the wall, and already right off the bat, it already looks a little bit more filled as we start filling in some of those gaps. So where did everyone end up? Up here, we have Commissioner Gordon with the Batman right below him. Over here, we have the Trickster, and if we go down the line, we have Captain Cold sitting right next to Deadshot. There is the new Mr. Freeze next to some of the other Batman movie minifigures. Who else? Oh, all of the Blue Beetle sets. The Blue Beetle, the Farmer, and Orange Scarecrow. Who else did we add today? We got Robin down here. He's kind of chilling in the middle. The GCPD officer, kind of also filling in a massive gap. Just that illusion of, being full as we add a minifigure in a long stretch of emptiness. Down below, we have some of the DC CMF figures. We have Huntress, and then Stargirl got added over there. And then last and probably least, we have Selena Kyle down at the very bottom of the wall. So already we got 13 new minifigures added to the wall today. I'm very happy. Let me know in the comments who your favorite minifigure we added to the wall today, or your favorite DC minifigure just in general. I'd love to know. But without further ado, I'll see you all next time.